there were a whole lot of things that I was doing to try to get funding, and so when I saw the position, I was like, let me just try this one more time, because I applied over and over again, done interviews. I didn't know what's wrong with me. It's like you didn't believe me and you asked for my US number, and so you texted me to find out,
so
is
you're
this
the one?
Ernest? Yes, I am the one.
Did you evaluate your transcript?
I did. I spent about $220 on evaluating my transcript, and that was also another reason why I didn't want to give up, because I felt like I'd already put in a lot, like financially, psychologically. And I remember the first question he asked me was, why are you going to Georgia? And he didn't ask why I go to Georgia to South University, and I answered it. I mean, he asked me what did I do for my bachelor's degree, but I felt he also went to take a look at my LinkedIn page. I know that feeling, and I know it's tough. It's heartbreaking when you have admission and you are trying to get funding. I've been in that space before, and it's not a nice one.
Is there something you would change if you should do it again?
But I realized that it was their SOP, like they had something particular in their SOP or their CV that caught the eye of the program coordinator. And so I went back to read my SOP and I saw, okay, mine was a bit generic. One thing I like is they cover your entire tuition fees. Like, I don't pay anything. And so she was quite impressed that I was able to pull that off. Coming here, I felt I wasn't capable. I felt Grand Valley State University. I think I actually put in an application for that school.
And the schools you mentioned, they're actually very good schools, yeah. Alright, before we start, consider subscribing to the channel. This helps me so much. Thank you. Yeah, you came last year, right?
Yeah, last year in August.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that it took you about 2 years after school, after your bachelor's degree.
Yes, it did.
What happened?
So after my bachelor's degree, I did my national service for 1 year at Atlanta Municipal Assembly, and after that, I was home, looking for jobs, trying to get myself busy, and so it was that timeline or that time frame that I decided to study abroad. I mean, I didn't have that plan prior, like I didn't want to pursue masters abroad, and so I had a conversation with my dad one day, and it just birthed that interest to study abroad, and here I am.
So when you decided to study abroad, how did you start?
So actually, I know somebody in this school. The person recommended the program to me. I love like governance. I love public policy. I love history, and so when the person recommended the school to me, I made my research about the school, and I saw they offered a public administration program, and yeah, I decided to put in an application. From there, I had admission when I applied, but it didn't come with funding, and so I had to wait for another year again, struggling and trying to get funding. But eventually it pulled off for me and I got here.
What did you study during your bachelor's degree?
I studied business administration.
Okay, that's actually related to public administration, right?
Yes, it is. Yes,
So,
yes.
if I understand you correctly, when you finished your bachelor's degree, that is when you submitted your first application, but then you got admission without funding. So the second time around when you tried, you got admission with funding, right?
So I applied once. So
Okay.
after my bachelor's degree, I put in an application over here for the public administration program, and I had it.
Okay.
But it didn't come with funding. My initial thought was when I applied, I mean, I had good grades I finished with a 3.5 out of 4. And so, I mean, I had an impressive, background in non-profit management. I had done things for the community. And so I thought it would be easy to get funding, like when I apply. But I didn't get any funding. It was just the admission, and I was heartbroken. I mean, and so I started. I would say it was one of the toughest periods of my life, because I had to text professors, email them. I had to constantly be on the school's website. They have a web page where they post graduate assistantship, and so like there were a whole lot of things that I was doing to try to get funding, and so I was very consistent and persistent at it. I felt once I had gotten the admission, um, there's no way I wouldn't get funding, and so I
Yeah.
didn't let that be like a setback for me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The funding you got, was it from your department or outside?
surprisingly, surprisingly no, it wasn't from my department. So after
Okay.
I put in the I had the admission, I reached out to the program coordinator. He was like, "You're supposed to get a visa before they can offer you a graduate assistantship."
Yeah.
And I kept sending him emails that you don't understand my situation. I need a graduate assistantship to
Yeah.
get the visa.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, no, no. There was a time I'm sure he even got pissed or bored at me because I was really on this thing, on
Yeah.
his nerves.
Hmm.
I reached out to other lecturers in the department. I just tried to like establish a relationship with them. So probably on New Year's Day, I'll send them Happy New Year, Christmas. I'll just try it, and they replied me like. So there was this one
Hmm.
professor who I sent. I remember I sent her a Happy New Year, and she was like, "Hey Ernest, I know you are looking for a graduate assistantship, so get back to me in May. Probably there might be a position." And
Wow.
so but that didn't work out when May came. I mean, yeah, I followed their LinkedIn pages as well, trying to see like what they were up to, what they were doing, and um, I was just trying to like
Yeah.
develop a
Everything
relationship with them,
possible.
trying
Yeah.
to yes, so that in case they will know my name will be familiar to them.
Yeah.
But it didn't it didn't work out for me, and so I had my assistantship from outside the department, and it was in the Office of Leadership and Community Engagement. And I feel like that was a very perfect fit for me because it aligned with my program, public administration. The office that I'm currently working in deals in or works with the community, so it's community engagement and leadership. And so it was easy to actually like combine the two. And my department also has like a lot of programs that they do with the department, and so it's not really outside or it's not out of scope of what I'm doing, and so it
Yeah.
was easy to actually combine the two and work. And
Hmm.
um,
Wow.
I applied for several assistantships, about like I can't count because I used to tailor my CV each and every single time I write a cover letter. I had about four interviews, graduate assistantship interviews, but I didn't get any of them. And at a point, I just wanted to give up. And I saw this position. And when I saw the position, I was like, let me just try this one more time. Because I applied over and over again, done interviews. I didn't know what's wrong with me. I just didn't know like what the problem was. And so
Yeah.
I just put in my application, and I just received an email that, okay, I had an interview, and I went for the interview, and it was one of the best interviews I had ever had
Wow.
because it was more of a conversation, I would say. A
Yeah.
few weeks later, she offered me the role, and I had the assistantship. Yeah. And the offer that I had was even way better than what was coming from my department.
Wow.
Yeah.
This life, sometimes it's the one last try that makes all the difference.
Exactly, exactly. And like, so people reach out to me on LinkedIn each and every single time, and like, they are like, I've gotten admission, but without funding. I tell them
Yeah.
to be persistent, and they feel like I'm just being generic or I'm just trying to tell them something. But that is the key. Like,
Yeah.
be persistent, be consistent. Don't give up. When you see a position and you know you are capable and you can do it, tailor your CV. Like,
Hmm.
curate it to fit the job description and put in the application. You never know where your eureka moments might pop up. So I always tell people to be like very persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
Like, don't give up.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So is Georgia Southern University the only university you applied to?
No, I applied to other universities, but Georgia Southern was on my heart. I applied to Westchester University. I applied to Western Carolina University. I also applied to Northeastern University, and that university didn't offer public administration, but I applied to their project management program. They gave me funding, but their cost of attendance was way high, and so
Yeah.
even with that, my deficit was
Huge. Yeah.
very huge, and so I really didn't give in much consideration. Even though like I saw people posting their, how do they call it, their transcript, that these are like interview transcripts on the pages with
Mm.
that same program, same funding, and
Oh
they had
wow.
the this thing, what's the name, the visa. I
Approved.
just didn't want to give it a shot because I feel like everyone has
Yeah.
their own what's the name,
Destiny,
shine,
right? Everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
destiny, exactly. And so I just thought, even though I had like a bachelor's in business administration, I had done project management in one of my courses. I mean, I would be able to do a project management course, but I just felt like no, that wasn't for me, and so I stuck with Georgia Southern University.
Yeah. And I think you wouldn't. I mean, right now you don't. I don't think you feel any regrets, right? Because how will you have survived, right, with that huge
Exactly,
deficit, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And right now, I'm having a sense of fulfillment over here, especially um, with some of the things that are going on in my life right now, like when it comes to community engagement and like what I have done as an international student for the small community that I'm in here right now.
Yeah.
Through my office, I've been able to like lead a project that recognizes community leaders here in the community, and so I led the project. I put up a panel of judges to like review the members that were selected for that award, and in the end, they were awarded, and they felt recognized for the work that we've been doing for the community, both students, faculty, and community
Mm.
partners. Working with students, the office provides a mini grant for students who are having projects in the community that needs funding. And I also head that project as well. And so I'm doing like a lot for the community, and I'm really proud that I made a
Mm.
decision to come
Wow.
to Georgia South University. Yeah. And I when I came, there was a Ghanaian community, but
Mm.
it wasn't formalized. There wasn't a Ghanaian Students Association.
Yeah.
And so when I came here with my friend, we just decided to come up with a more solidified association of Ghanaians. And so it was just this February, this year, February, that a Ghanaian Students Association was formed, and I was the vice president, and we just
Yeah.
held our first event. And just yesterday, we had a match versus the Nigerian Students Association. And so, yeah, yeah,
Go on.
it's the Ghanaians won 5-2.
Ah. Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So I feel it was just in everything. Life just,
Yeah.
you never know. You just have to.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the leadership stuff later, but since you've brought it up,
Oh, I'm sorry.
why? So why were you interested in trying to bring the Ghanaian community together? What was the whole point?
So when I came, I met a couple of Ghanaians who welcomed me in. A lot of the things they were doing was not really, it wasn't
Structured?
really official. I
Hmm.
would say it was just like everything was kind of disorganized, and we had a WhatsApp group. It wasn't lively. We don't really organize programs. When I came as a fresher, and they welcomed me in, and that was it. No um, career programs, no workshops, nothing. And apart from the first day that I met um, the Ghanaians when I came, that was the only
Yeah.
time. I didn't really know of any other Ghanaians, and so I spoke to my friend um, who came with me in the fall of last year, and we felt, I mean, we can actually start an association. Like, we can go through the process and start. And so we spoke to some of the older Ghanaians who were here already because we just wanted to follow that chain of process, not to just do anything because they could help us and assist us. We spoke to
Yeah.
them, and they were like, it was a good idea. And so we started with the process, and we actually held elections. Even though we came up with the idea, we actually held elections so that it would be more of to be more of a
Yeah.
democratic process and
Yeah.
not be like we are imposing ourselves as this thing.
Mm.
And
Mm.
they elected us into office, and we had other help from other Ghanaians to help us lead the association. And
Hmm.
yeah,
So your friend, she's a lady, right?
she's a lady. She's a lady.
Okay. So she's the president and you are the
She's
vice
the
president.
president. I'm the vice president. Yeah.
Hmm. And so what are you guys hoping to achieve with this association?
So we are hoping to bring together the Ghanaians here in Georgia Southern University and also like beyond, because we know there are other Ghanaians outside of Statesboro, where I am Statesboro, outside of Statesboro, who are not really connected to their Ghanaian roots. We want to bring
Yeah.
them together, form a more solidified community where we
Hmm.
can share our goals, our dreams, and help each other achieve it, not just as an individual, but as a group.
Do you know how many Ghanaians are in your school?
Currently, no, I don't have that data, but from our previous, I mean, our yesterday's events, the number of Ghanaians that showed up, I would say were above 70. There are actually other Ghanaian, like families outside
Mm.
of Georgia Southern brought their kids and other family members as well. And we also had the opportunity to meet other Ghanaian faculty members on campus, and we realized that, oh, okay, there are a lot of,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah.
And they also didn't know that there were other Ghanaian faculty members. So that was the first time for the faculty members to actually meet themselves at that event. And
Mm.
so I feel, you see,
Oh,
it's
that's
part of the
amazing.
reasons why, yes, we created the organization.
Wow. Yeah, I think I was drawn to you because of I think the leadership thing. You know, when you became vice president, I think I saw the post and I was like, oh wow, there's somebody I want to talk to. So wow, yeah, keep it up. Wow, nice.
You know, I want to say something. So when I started this journey, right? When I started
Yeah.
this journey and I had my admission, I was
Mm.
super excited.
Yeah.
I was super excited. I was elated. Like I just felt like I had won a
Yeah.
lottery. And so I started doing my research and I realized that
Yeah.
okay, I'm supposed to get funded before I go to the what's the name? The embassy.
Interview. Yeah.
And that kind of dampened my hopes a little bit. So I started
Yeah.
like going through a lot of YouTube videos.
Mm.
And guess what? I came across your channel. And I remember the
Oh,
video that I
wow.
watched. I think you were in your room. Your hair was kind of, it wasn't bushy as this, it was low. And when I saw, I didn't, I saw the name and I was trying to want, are you Ghanaian? I couldn't really
Yeah.
tell if you're Ghanaian or Nigerian. So I remember watching one of your videos and I think it was true that I was able to join, I think your the WhatsApp page. So
Wow,
it
you
was
were
through that,
there.
yes,
Ah.
it was through your
Oh.
YouTube channel that I was able to join the WhatsApp page.
Ah.
And so I've been following you. I mean, throughout the process, even before I went to the interview, I, I think I joined. I was trying to join one of your mock sessions, but
Mm.
I mean, I couldn't join because it was past time. But you were willing to help, but I didn't take most of the time.
Mm.
Um, So throughout
Wow.
the process, I mean, I've been following you. Even when I got here, I know you have a group for like the international students here,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm part of the group. So after I had my visa, I remember texting you that I was here. It's like you didn't believe me, and you asked for my US number, and so you texted me to find
Ah,
out
so
is
you're the
this
one.
Ernest? Yes, I am the one. I am the Ernest.
Oh,
I am the
wow.
Ernest. So when you reached out to me on LinkedIn, I was happy. I was willing to
Ah,
do it because I've been. This is not
wow.
the first time I'm meeting you. I've been following you, and so it's a pleasure to be on your channel, on your platform. It's really a pleasure.
Hey.
I respect the work that you are
Wow.
doing a lot. You are doing an amazing
Hey.
job out there. You have no idea. You are doing an amazing
Ah,
job. Yes.
oh, this is
Yes.
this is so much to take in. Wow.
Yes. You are
Hey.
influencing a lot of people, but probably people are not appreciating you. But you are doing an amazing job. I have to
Wow. Thank
give
you.
you the kudos. Yes.
Ah. So are you in the international page?
Yes, I am. I am. I'm in the international, but I just
Wow.
don't chat often. Yes, I am. I'm
Ah.
also in
Yesterday.
the
Mm.
Ghanaian page that has everyone as
Oh,
well.
okay. The
Yeah.
general.
Shy
Okay. Oh,
guides. I
wow.
think yeah, I'm in that
Yeah.
WhatsApp group.
Yesterday we had a call for like 2 hours.
Yes, yes,
Did you
yes. I
join?
was at work.
Oh,
No, no, I
okay.
was at work. But I saw the call come. I saw the call coming
Yeah.
actually. Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been
Amazing.
following you. It's not the first time meeting you, so
Wow.
I'll say I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Wow, thank you. Wow, wow,
Yes.
wow, wow. Good to know. Good to know. Wow. And right now, you're also doing so much for not just the Ghanaian community, but the community that you are in, where the school is.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things that is challenging for students when it comes to the study abroad has to do with money.
Mhm.
It's kind of a bit expensive because application fees and all of that. Do you know how much you spent in the whole process?
Oh, how much I spent?
Did you evaluate your transcript?
I did. I did. I spent
Ah,
about
wow.
$220 on evaluating my transcript. So for my school, Georgia Southern, it's mandatory to evaluate your transcripts. They don't accept transcripts from outside of the US, and so you have to evaluate it before you can actually apply for any program. And so I had to go through that process. And I remember that was one of the obstacles I faced during my admission process. And I had done everything. I had written my statement of purpose. I had submitted the references and everything that they required of me. But I mean, reaching up that $200, I remember I had savings. And so I pulled some money from my savings, and I spoke to my dad that I needed a little top up on it. And that's how I actually was able to pay for the transcript evaluation. I also paid an admission fee of about $60, I remember. Yeah. Um
To your
then
school?
the vis yeah, to my school. To my
Okay.
school.
So admission fee, you mean application fee, right?
Yes, application fee,
Okay.
sorry. Then the visa fee, then other costs. So probably I would estimate it to be around, wow, I don't know, maybe $500 or
Yeah.
so. I can't really remember, but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a visa, I think it will be more than that because service fee alone is 350. Visa
Yes,
fee is
yes. Okay,
185.
yes, yes.
So
Yes,
those
that's
two
true.
alone is more than 500, yeah, plus
That's true.
evaluation. So that's close to 1,000.
That's yes. Yeah, so a lot goes in. And that was also another reason why I didn't want to give up because I felt like I had already put in like a lot, like
Yeah.
financially, psychologically, and
Yeah.
so I just felt like I should just keep pushing, like I
Yeah.
shouldn't give up. Yeah.
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 And I think with your GPA, if you had given up, it would have one day you would have looked back and then regretted because 3.5, man, that's really good. Like you cannot stay in
Exactly.
Ghana. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I remember in my undergrad, so I went to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and we used the CWA, the
Mm.
cumulative weighted average, and I finished with a 68.9. And so like a 70% is the first class, right?
Wow.
And so yeah.
That was
And so
close.
I
Ah,
yeah, that was close. Exactly. And so I didn't start well. I started with a 66 and I dropped to a 63% in my
wow.
second year. And in my third year I told myself I wanted to change and I wanted to put in all my like
Mm.
everything to finish with the first class, even though it wasn't
Yeah.
possible. And so that was when I started putting in effort to finish with the first class, but I finished with a 68.9. And when I did the evaluation, it was a 3.5. And I was like, okay, so
Nothing
it's not
changed,
that
right?
bad. Come again?
So the final GPA, well, okay. The final GPA was it did the evaluation help or not?
So I finished, so the CW I finished was a 68.9, but when I did the transcript evaluation, it came out as a 3.5.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
In your second year, what happened?
So in
Were
my
you
second
having too
year,
much fun?
I would say I wasn't serious.
Mm,
There was one particular course that I was doing that actually was that broke me down. It was accounting. I'm not really so good with like figures and numbers, and
yeah.
accounting used to bother me a lot, and so it affected all the other courses. Like I don't know, for some reason I it just dampened my
Yeah.
entire this thing, academic
Yeah.
senses, and so I wasn't putting in effort, and also the company of friends that I had then in the university wasn't the best. And so even though I started with a 66, when I started with a 66, I was like, first I was like, I didn't put in much effort, but I started with a 66. And so
Mm.
let me just
Yeah, which
continue with
means
that
yeah, you could
momentum.
have. Mm,
Yeah. And when I dropped, I was like, oh, okay, 63.9. That's bad. I was going down, down, down. And I knew if I continued that way, it wasn't going to be good for me. And so there was just this um,
yeah.
recycling of my mind to, in the
Mm,
third year, to just give it all my best. And so, yeah,
yeah, and at the end of the day, it was worth it.
it was worth it. It was worth it. I don't regret all the sleepless nights and the sacrifices I made in my undergrad. I was just like, sorry to cut you. I was just learning. I didn't have that this thing that, oh, I was gonna study abroad after
Yeah,
school, so let me learn hard.
yeah,
I was just like, let me learn. Like, do you get it?
yeah,
Yeah. And it helped out in the end, actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So your funding, you said the one you got from the leadership office is better than the one
Mm-hmm.
from your department. So
Yeah.
is it enough for you?
Is it enough for me? I would say no, it's not enough for me. It's
Okay.
not enough for me because the average was the average pay here for graduate assistantship, I would say is about $700. And that's very small. Rent
Yeah,
cost here average is $400. And so if you do the calculation, by the time you take out your rent from your income, you'll be left with very small to buy groceries for other expenses. Uh, and so it's not. I wouldn't say it's enough. It's not enough, but I mean I'm able to manage and save
I mean,
something.
the
Yeah,
life here is it's all about managing until you finish and you have
exactly.
a good job. Yeah.
Exactly. 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 That's true.
So what is your deficit like? Is it was
Okay.
it a lot when you're coming? Yeah.
So, um, after I had the funding, my funding covered my tuition of about 20,000. It also covered part of my living expenses, and it gave me a stipend as well. And so my deficit was about $8,000 when I was coming. And that's actually one of the lowest deficits when you're coming to Georgia Southern, because most of the transcripts that I've seen and most of the people that I've spoken to, their deficit was about 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. By mine was 8,000. And so I thought, oh, okay, I could actually leverage on this little deficit at the visa interview and give it all
Yeah.
my best and get the visa interview. And so I did just that. I
Oh,
got here by the grace of God.
tell me about your visa interview experience.
Um, After I had the funding, I just knew I had the visa. For
Yeah.
some reason, I just knew I had the 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 visa after the funding, and so I gave it all my best. I mean, I started with the preparations, attending visa mock interviews,
Yeah.
um, trying to get my documents together. I joined several mock interviews, but I just stuck to the ones that I felt um, would help me. And so yours was quite helpful, even though sometimes I joined and I was scared to talk. I listened to you interview other people, and some of um, the guides that you gave on how to respond was very helpful. And I also did some personal, shall I say,
Yeah.
is it personal interviews with myself? I was just trying to rehearse and practice
Oh,
in the
okay, so
mirror.
like you ask yourself questions and then answer the
Exactly, and
questions to yourself, right?
answer it myself. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so by the
That's always
time that
helpful.
yeah, by the time I got to the interview, I was well rounded. Like no matter how you
Yeah.
ask the questions, I knew what I was about. I knew what I was going to do, and so I
Yeah.
was prepared. I wasn't tensed at all, and so I remember on the day of the interview. Um, I mean, when you get there, there's people say there's a lot of pressure and tension in the room. There is, but I was calm. I was very calm and collected. I just fully joined the queue, did all the processes that I had to do. Um, I remember two people were interviewed, about three people were interviewed before me. The first two were undergrads, and I remember one question they asked one of the guys. The visa officer asked him, "You did your high school here in Ghana. Why are you deciding to go to the US to um what's the name?
Do your bachelor's
Pursue
degree.
yeah."
Mm.
Yeah, and he was like, there are good universities here in Ghana. Why do you want to go? He couldn't. He just fumbled up. That was the point that got him, and he
Mm,
couldn't answer, and he was rejected. One other guy too. The second guy was asked. He was like, "I'm done with my undergrad, but I'm done with my undergrad." And the visa officer asked him, "So what are you currently doing?" And he was like, "I'm currently at home." When I heard that, I was like, "That was it. You should you shouldn't have answered it like
yeah,
that." He was like, "I'm currently at
yeah,
home." It was like the visa officer asked him why. He was like, "Oh, they've not posted nurses yet. I did nursing. They've not posted nurses yet, and so I'm at home." And he was like, "I'm sorry, I can't give it to you." The next guy was going for a B1, B2, and he had it. He works on a cruise ship, so he had it. And it finally got to my turn. And I remember the first question he asked me was, "Why are you going to Georgia?" And he didn't ask why I go to Georgia to South University, and I answered it. I mean, he asked me what did I do for my bachelor's degree, and I said, business administration. He asked me why did I choose that program, um, public administration, and I also answered it. But I felt he also went to take a look at my LinkedIn page,
wow,
cause yes, cause I felt I had a strong LinkedIn presence even at that time, and most of the works that I did with the non-profits that I worked in Ghana, I posted it out there. I placed it there on LinkedIn, and my LinkedIn profile was like quite optimized, and so you
nice.
once you search my name, you would see what I've done. And so I
Mm,
didn't really have to talk much. I didn't really have to say much. I knew the points that I had to hit on, home ties, and those certain areas that I had to hit on, and that's
yeah,
what I just did. And I was answering the questions, and he asked me, "I see you have a deficit of 8,000. How are you going to cover that?" And I told him, um, my stepdad is going to handle that. I mentioned the work that he does, and this thing. He didn't ask for any documents, nothing. Waiting for the next question, and he just handed over the approval sheet to me. And I was surprised. I was like, I thought there are more questions, or I'm
yeah.
expecting. It was like at that moment, like the world just stopped moving, and everything was at a standstill. Because honestly, I I was like, is this the visa interview? Like, I
It was so easy
I don't
for
know.
you.
Exactly. And he just gave to me, and I just walked out. I just walked out of the place, and so it's like I knew I was going to get it. I
Mm,
didn't want to be tensed.
yeah,
One thing that also helped me was the time I was at home. I had applied to so many jobs, and I had been to so many interviews without getting the jobs. And so that process of walking up and down, going to interviews and being interviewed, like
yeah,
as the day goes by, like actually honed my skills, like my interview skills, and
nice.
yes. And so I used to have that fear when I go for interviews,
Mm,
but it was like I just saw this as one of the job interviews I was going in for, and so you don't have to be tense, you don't have to be so scared about, regardless of whatever the outcome is. You're a young person, you can still, I
yeah,
mean, find something to do, leverage on the skills that you have, and do something. So I just focused on what was at hand on that day, and I went there and I got it by the grace of God, and so that was
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is good. A lot of times, you have to fail, 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 and then when you succeed, it's like more like a good success. But then if you
Exactly.
succeed, and then one failure comes, you might not, never recover. So
And might never recover.
yeah,
Yes, that's true.
that's good. Yeah. So as a student with all these responsibilities, when you wake up in a day, what do you do? Like, how is your typical day like?
So when I wake up, see this. When I wake up, every single day, at the end of every single day, I just try to make a schedule of what I have to do because time management here is very crucial. So you balance G work with your
Yeah,
schooling work, and so I'm more of a writer. I don't, even though I make use of the calendar, I make use of sticky notes a lot, and so I just write down what I have to do for the next day. And so when I wake up in the morning, I know that okay, this is what I have to do for today. And so um I just follow this whatever I have on my sticky notes
yeah,
and just go with that. um what's the name, go with that process. I have my GA works in the morning, and I have class. My classes are in the evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. And so it's very tough for me to be able to um I try to find time to do other co-curricular activities
Yeah.
because my time is, I wasn't expecting my classes to be in the evenings when I got here, and since I
Mm.
came it has been in the evenings. And so I try to um do my GA work in the day. And I noticed that most of my colleagues have like their work is quite flexible. They can work remotely, but I have to go to the office, sit there for like 5 hours a day, show up, and do the work that I'm supposed to do, and then in the evening I go to work. I go to class, and so I
Is
just
the
try
class
to.
online?
No, it's actually in person.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah, yes, it is.
Sorry.
It's in
Yeah.
person. So I just try my best to manage
Mm.
everything and handle every other responsibilities that I have. Um,
You mentioned favorite. You mentioned sticky notes. So, do you have like favorite apps that you like a lot?
no, no, I wouldn't say I have a favorite app. I just do it whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
my work, I make use of Google Calendar because that gives me a reminder. Sometimes you know you have this, but you just need a reminder that okay, in the
Yeah.
next few minutes you have to do this, and so that actually helps me a lot with meetings and um, projects that I have to do.
Yeah. So, given everything that you had to go through to get the GA, the admission in the GA, if I come to you that I have been trying and all I get are admissions, what will you advise me? What will you suggest to me if I want to get funding?
Oh, I know that feeling. And I know it's tough.
Mm.
It's heartbreaking when you have admission and you are trying to get funding. I've been in that um, space
Yeah.
before, and it's not a nice one. But I would say, first of all, I'll say you have to look at, if possible, look at programs that offer funding. Because I know some people just apply to programs, they don't look at um, the funding options or if there's any form of scholarship or anything, and they just
Yeah.
apply right away. And so I'll tell
Mm.
them to um, look at programs that offer funding. At least you know that even if you have the admission, there is still a chance for you to get
Yeah.
funding. But if you don't do that and you are still um, applying to programs that don't offer funding, you are just, I think it's a waste of time. And some people go ahead to pay application fees and a whole lot, and that can be financially straining. And so you focus fully on like funded programs. Also say like you should tailor your CV and your, what's the name, SOP
SOP.
to, yeah, to the program that um you are applying to, so that it makes it like quite easy for the admission committee to allocate funding to, like,
Mm.
based on your qualifications and based on your experience.
Yeah.
And if you make it very generic and you are trying to copy and paste from someone, you are shooting yourself in the foot. And so
Mm.
people,
Yeah.
like, so I wouldn't say people are lazy, but people find it like as time wasting when they have to always like try to tailor their CVs and this thing. I've been there. I know I feel like I
Yeah.
have to. You look at the list and it's like, oh, I have to now come and tailor my CV all over again. And
A
so
lot
they
of
just
work.
put in, exactly, they just put in the generic one or the one that they use to apply for medicine. I didn't to apply for maybe this thing. It wouldn't work out.
Mm.
So you tailor your CV. And
Yeah.
also,
You personally, is there something you would change if you should do it again?
I would say prior research. If I did prior research to the study abroad, like concerning the study abroad process, I think it would have shortened the the process for me. I wouldn't have to be, what's the name, I wouldn't have to, it wouldn't take so much time for me to maybe get funding or
Yeah.
to have gotten my visa. I didn't know all of this. I just started the process, and I hit a stumbling block. But if I knew that, okay, after I get or during the admission process, I'm supposed to tailor my SOP, because I actually have mates over here who told me that they had their funding from the department, like without even having the visa. And I was like, why isn't that? Why did the program
Yeah.
coordinator tell me that? But I realized that it was their SOP. Like they had something um, particular in their SOP or their CV that caught the eye of the program coordinator. And so I went back to read my SOP and I saw, okay, mine was a bit generic. Like it wasn't really hitting. And at that point, I really didn't know if I should be in the non-profit space, because I did like governance and public policy, and I also did like the non-profit work that I was doing. And so I was kind of making it just public administration and not concentrating on a particular field. So I realized that some of these things that they did made them um what's the
Stand
name
out.
get stand out and get funding even um before getting the what's the name their
The
visa.
visa.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, I think it's something that I would look at. um
Mm.
Doing
Nice.
your research, take time, read, go through. If it's the school's website that you have to go through the school's website, read the requirements. If it's YouTube videos that you have to watch on study abroad process or journey, do that and just um, equip yourself with the necessary information that you need. I mean, it would help you, and you also be able to inform people. It's not like you'll not be blind throughout the process. I mean, people don't do the necessary um, work they have to do, like in terms in
Yeah.
concerning study abroad, and some people get like duped, or they get this thing because
Yeah.
of these things.
Yeah. This is very insightful. Like, yeah, the research is very important. Very, very important. Yeah. Yeah. So, you personally, do you think your school is one that you recommend to other people?
I would um, recommend Georgia Southern, because I've read about other schools, and Georgia Southern actually, like, one thing I like is they cover your entire tuition fees. Like I don't pay anything. I just have to pay for what's the name, my health insurance, and that is like,
That is all.
I mean, yeah, it's quite less. Like it's not so much to pay. It might be so much for someone, but once you come here, you'll be able to manage, and
Yeah.
you get to pay the um, health insurance. But I feel the fact that you are able to cover your tuition, it's a small community as well. You
Mm.
are able to day in day out. I meet people and they are like they know me from this place and that place. Like you're able to network, and it's a very um, nice institution. It is internationally friendly. Um,
Which means you're
when we started,
yeah.
come again.
I was going to say, which means you are very popular in the school.
Because of the community engagement work that I do, I mean,
Mm.
people kind of like are getting to know me now, and the Ghanaian Students Association, like even the Americans here are beginning to notice like the Ghanaians, and
Mm.
yeah, I
Do
try
you
my
like the
best.
pressure
The pressure, I
of people
don't.
knowing you?
No, I don't. So I was applying for an internship for summer actually,
Mm.
and I went for what was the name an interview, and the lady was asking me, do I have any skills in like graphic designing and like marketing or community
Yeah.
engagement? And I was like, yes, I actually do. And we had a community like awards, like I said earlier, to
Yeah.
recognize those who have done amazing work for the community. And I was like, I led that project. Has she heard of it? And she was like, yes, she has actually heard of
Wow.
the name of the project is Campus Museum of Service. So it's like over the
Mm.
years we have recognized a lot of community partner students. So it's like more of a museum that houses like those people that have done the work. And she was like, yeah, she has heard of it. And I was like, I led it this year. And she was like, oh wow, that's nice. I um, designed the graphics. I did the marketing pieces and everything to put it out there. And so she was quite impressed that I was able to pull that
Yeah.
off. yeah, and so I just like the fact that even with the little work that I'm doing, it's being recognized. I mean, I don't want my face to be out there, but just the work that I'm doing, if it's recognized, I have a sense of fulfillment that
Yeah.
I'm doing something for the community.
Yeah. The way I look at you, I feel like you'll be like, a good leader for Ghana. What do you think?
Well,
Is that something you think about?
I have thought of it.
So I mean, like a minister or president, that kind of
I
that in that
honestly, I
capacity. I
have
feel
thought
like
of it.
you.
Yeah, I have thought of it. Like day in day out, it comes to mind. It
Mm,
comes to mind that um, I could return home someday and hold a position in government or
yeah.
an office, a public office.
Mm,
But then again, I just don't know how it's gonna turn out, or I don't know how that is gonna happen. And so, anytime that thought comes in mind, I just try to push it away and not think about it too much. But yeah,
mm,
I do wanna serve the
yeah.
community. I do wanna help people out. Um, I
But
do like
don't you have a lot of things that you have achieved that you didn't actually think you could achieve, right? Or you didn't
yes,
think was
I
possible?
have
Which means, yeah.
coming here. I felt I wasn't capable. I felt
Mm,
it's gonna take a very long time for me to blend in,
mm,
and I just thought I'll be like a student that would just be in the closet and not really be recognized. Like I'll just do my own thing at my own
yeah.
corner and not do so much for people to. But coming here, it has really exposed me to a lot. I mean, it has built my capabilities.
Wow.
I'm able to go out in the community and take up some volunteering work. I'm able to talk to people about Ghana. I'm able to I'm honing my public speaking skills as well, especially at the workplace. Um, yeah, and so some of the academic work and professional work, I mean, my GA work that
Mm,
I'm doing has
yeah.
really placed me in a place where I'm able to. I mean, I see myself like getting better day by day. I mean,
Mm.
and like there is a pressure on me to get better. Like I can't. It's like I can't rest. Like there's no room for. You get it. There's no room for.
I get your point.
Yes, and so it's like I feel it's even though it's a daily process, but I've I feel I'm getting better, and I'm glad.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Mm. So apart from Georgia Southern, do you have other universities that if you should do again, you want to consider for your program, MPA?
Like would I consider doing another program aside from MPA or
No, like I mean, now you are doing your MPA program at Georgia Southern. If you should apply to another school again, right? Another school like for MPA for the same program, do you have any university that you will consider?
yes,
Or in other words, apart from Georgia Southern, what are other universities that you think, yeah, they are really good?
Grand Valley State University. I think I actually put in an application for that school, but um for some reason I just stopped. I applied to many other schools, but I just when you're like when the applications become so many like that, you just can't really follow up, and
Yeah.
so I would apply to that school. Um, I actually follow someone on LinkedIn who's in that school, and I see they offer so much. They offer so much for their public administration students. I mean, in terms of like conferences and the opportunity to like collaborate and publish papers with faculty members and all of that. And it's something that I would love to do, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's not same in my university, and so yeah, it's one university I would consider. Um, and they offer graduate assistantship as well. I mean, their funding is good. It's quite good as well, and
Mm,
so it's one university that I would consider. I would also consider Louisiana State University,
mm,
um, just because of their funding. I know they offer good funding, and
mm.
their stipend is quite good. It's way better than that of Georgia Southern University, and
Ah,
so
see.
yeah, and so it's one two that I would consider.
Mm.
Finally, City of Arkansas, Little Rock.
Little Rock. Okay.
Yeah, I know they offer funding also through graduate assistantship, and I know there are a couple of Ghanaians over there who have gotten funding in that school for an MPA program, and so I think it would be a nice choice to offer an MPA program.
Nice.
Actually, before
Yeah.
I'm doing the journey, people were like, "Oh, for public administration, it's very difficult to get funding, and so
Mm.
you have to like do a STEM course or something." And so it kind of got to me at a point, and so I actually considered changing my this thing, my my routes to other programs that would offer me funding.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I stuck to the public administration
Mm.
program and didn't listen to like other.
Yeah.
There might be some iota of truth in that, but I mean, there are people offering public administration courses with amazing funding, like
Yeah.
in various universities across the
Yeah.
United States, and so there are vast opportunities and resources. I
Mm.
mean, for
Yeah.
public administration students or candidates who want to come to the
Mm.
United States.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. And the schools you mentioned, they're actually very good schools. Yeah. Very, very good schools. Yeah. Is there something you wish you knew before coming to the US?
Time management, time management. Back in Ghana and doing my bachelor's degree, something I didn't really consider, probably because I didn't have so much to do. I mean, you just go to lectures, come back to the hostel, and back and forth, and you just like kind
Yeah.
of do anything anyhow, running up and down.
True.
But when I
Yeah.
got here, you are juggling a whole lot. You have to keep up with
Yeah.
assignments. You have
Yeah.
to, there are deadlines, projects at the
Yeah.
workplace. And so, time management. I just wish I knew that I mean, I feel it's something everyone should have. Like, you should have, you should have a routine, or you should have, like, just schedule your life. Like, just
Yeah.
plan
Have a
ahead. It
plan that
makes,
you follow. Yeah.
yes, it makes it easy for you to, like, get your work going. It makes it easy to juggle your classes, your work, your personal life, and things become
Yeah.
like much easier for you. Because over here, things can become like
Yeah.
you can just
Overwhelmed.
get easily overwhelmed. Yes, 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 and it can get to you. It can get to your mental health. Like
Yeah.
you just
Not easy.
find yourself. Yeah, it's not easy, and so I wish it's something that I actually
Yeah.
um considered before coming here, and also
Mm.
networking.
Yeah.
I've always found it very difficult to approach people and like talk to them. I just feel like let me just mind my business and let everyone keep to themselves. But when I got here, when I got here, I realized it's very necessary. You've got to, especially, I mean, with even the course that I'm doing or community engagement, you go
Yeah.
out there, you talk to people, you find out what they are doing, you find out what they need, you find out what needs to be done, and so even in class, um, I try my very best to talk to people, network with them. And generally, if you're an international student, people are curious. They want to know where you're from, why you speak the way you speak, why you do this the way you do this, why you think the way you think. And so, um, I had that mentality, and I know many people in Ghana to have that mentality of not networking, and we feel like we can actually like I don't know if it's a cultural thing or it's that's
Yeah.
what's
It's a
embedded in our
culture.
this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but I
yeah.
realized here you just have to come out and talk to people and
Yeah.
try to establish a relationship, even if it's hi, hello. They were able
Yeah.
to recognize your face and be like, "Oh, I've seen you somewhere before. You look very familiar." I have a classmate who organizes an arts workshop, and she invites me like every month to just come. And through that workshop, I get to meet people like each and every single day, like from various walks of life, like doing various things, and they tell me their experiences about maybe coming to Africa, or I share my experiences with them. And you never know, like through that, you might get an opportunity, or you might get to meet new people. You never know where an opportunity might come from. And so I wish I knew that, like, before coming here. And finally, I'll say, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's you are in a new environment. It's quite sometimes it's quite difficult to adapt or blend in, and like the learning and the teaching style is different. When I came here, it took some time for me to adapt because the teaching style is different. A lot of work is on yourself. You have to do a lot of the reading. And for my program, we do a lot of the reading. When we come to class, we discuss. And we are very, I mean, few in the class, about 12 or 10. And so everyone wants to know your view. What do you think about this? Maybe from the Ghanaian
Mm.
perspective. You
Yeah.
get it? And so there's always that, um, this thing, what's the name? Pressure on you to like talk or come out. And
Yeah.
when you don't understand something, just ask. Ask from your classmates, ask from your workmates. They are willing to help. If they don't help, you can ask another person. Another person will be willing to help. And so asking for help is something that I would, because I am a reserved person. Like naturally, I would say I just don't like to disturb people. Like I just feel like everyone should have their peace. And but when I got here and I saw that, if I don't ask for help, I'll sit here till the day closes. I remember
Yeah.
when I got here,
Yeah.
my GA work. There are a lot of things that I saw like they don't do a lot of paperwork. Everything is just what's the name? Computerized.
Communication.
Like
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And so no paperwork. I have to adapt to now. I have to adapt to like Google Calendar wasn't something I was used to. Google Drive, like messaging and all of that. Like I have to now learn, like and then learn some things and like relearn. And so I asked my colleague for help, and they were ever ready to help me to um learn what I was supposed to learn in the workplace. But imagine if I stuck to myself and I didn't want to ask for help. There was no way I would have maybe learned it or grown. And so
Yeah.
I feel like it's always okay to ask for help.
Yeah. The time management thing that you said, it's very important. The people who are not in the US, sometimes they don't understand the fact that we don't have time at all. Somebody will reach out and be like, can you do mock session with me? I have an interview tomorrow. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you think I'm just sitting now,
Yeah,
Ba-
exactly.
back home, we have a lot of time. We can, we just don't do much. So they think it's the same here, but no, no, here, there's no time at all.
I've actually heard people say that like when your friends travel, when people you know travel, they always try to form busybody.
Yeah,
But
it's not
but
like
that's not it. There is
that.
so much going on.
There's
Like
so much. There's
every
so much.
single second
Yeah,
like matters. Like
yeah,
you have to be planning. Like
yeah,
this moment you have to do this, you have to go here. And so I mean people reach out to me on LinkedIn, like I don't know, maybe probably because of my LinkedIn post, but
yeah. I
like
think
almost every single
you are
day,
very popular on LinkedIn.
I receive a message.
Yeah,
I'm either coming to Georgia South and I don't have funding. Help me get graduate assistantship. I'm coming to the US. How help me review my SOP, like, and
yeah,
I've been there before. I've reached out to people before on
yeah,
LinkedIn, and so when I receive messages like that, I just try my possible best to like help in the
yeah,
most little way I can. Even if I don't help that instance, I would find time and maybe review it and tell you, okay, work on this area, do this and do that.
yeah. It's not easy, man. It's
It's
not
not
easy. If you
easy. It's
combine
not
your
easy.
assignment, Ghana, in Ghana, if you are studying, if you are doing your master's or PhD or bachelor's degree or something, you don't do a lot of assignments like we do here. So it's like, yeah, you always have assignment to do. So somebody reaches out, SOP, this, and the person doesn't know that, like you
You
said,
have a
right?
lot
Every day
going
people are reaching out to you. So the person is not aware that there have been maybe other people have reached out within the same period,
on.
right? So it's not like
Exactly,
they alone.
exactly,
But they think
exactly.
they are the only people reaching out to you. They don't understand, right? Yeah. But I have actually learned a lot from you, like, leadership, adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
research,
Yes, yes,
communication, like all of these things have, it
yes.
was supposed to be study abroad, but I've learned all these things from you as well. So that's really good. So where can people follow you?
LinkedIn. You can follow
Okay.
me. My name is Ernest. Ernest Chomeku on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram as well as Chomeku
Okay.
with a J.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think that's it.
Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok.
TikTok.
I've not
Okay.
really
Everybody,
been like,
a
a
lot of
fan
people
of
are on
TikTok.
TikTok. When you're not on
Um,
TikTok, it means that you are too serious. Like,
a lot of people tell me that, but no, that's not.
you are too
I'm not really
serious.
interested. I just
Okay.
no, I'm
Yeah, I'll
just
leave
not.
the links in the description. Hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what are your final words or shout outs or anything that you want to say?
Final words. I think it's a personal thing, but it's something that I would just like to share. I
Okay.
feel like as young as we are, or I don't know if you are young, I feel like there's time to learn. Like um, you always have to try your best to um, improve yourself as a young person. And if it's reading of books that you have to do it. If it's like just try to improve yourself day by day. Take your personal development very seriously. It's it would help you in the future. I mean, when it comes to communication, if you feel like you're not good in communication, work on yourself, on your communication skills. If it's public speaking, if it's leadership, if it's um, whatever you find yourself or whatever weakness that you find, like in terms of professional or personal development, I feel like it's something that um, you should work on. And coming from Ghana, I feel like it's something that has been ignored. Like people just want to be average and
Yeah.
mediocre and just follow the bandwagon. There are a lot of trends going on and people are just following it. I feel like as an individual, as a young person, you can actually better yourself, develop a skill. Like I don't know if you get what I'm saying, Shy, but like
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I get
yes,
your point.
and
Like,
it's something that I just want to really out there. I am a
yeah.
fun person. I do have fun. I go out to play football, soccer, and all of that. But I feel like when it comes to personal and professional development, like especially in our world where it's like it's fast moving and fast paced, and like those who with the skills and the talent are being recognized, those with the value, like have value. Don't just be part of the masses and yeah, it would show up one day. It would show forth one day, and it's one advice that I want to put out there. But I want to give a shout out to the Ghanaian Students Association here at Georgia Southern University. I also want to give a shout out to um, the Business Administration Department at KNUST, specifically the Logistics and Supply Chain Management
Mm,
Department. Yes, yes.
yeah. Thanks so much, Ernest, and good
Thank
luck
you,
to you.
Shai. Thank you, Shai. You are doing an amazing work. We
Thank you.
appreciate what you are doing. I know you started a very long time ago. You have been consistent. Wow, that is amazing. We thank you a
Thank
lot. I
you.
mean, I know you've helped me. I'm sure you've helped so many other people and they have not reached out to you, but I just want you to know that today personally that you are doing an amazing job. We appreciate you. Keep doing
Thanks.
whatever you are doing. It is helping us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah.